try to kill this bear today. This daggone thing has aggravated the devil out of me. He's made it personal. He's eaten my camera twice. He's run off all my deer. And I finally got him figured out a place where I feel like he's gonna be crossing. He crossed there 3 times yesterday. I hunted him, but I didn't see him. I was 29 minutes behind him yesterday. But I'm gonna sneak up on the ridge this evening and see if we can put some stuff together and make it happen. Hopefully we kill us a big bear. Come on, go with us. We're set up. I've got Jeremiah. He's gonna be my cameraman this evening. The wind is not really optimal, but that bear knows every time I'm in here anyway, and he still comes by right before and after I'm through here, so he don't seem to be too bothered by my wind. I'm gonna give it a whirl. Hopefully he comes by. In my tree saddle. Kind of excited about that. Jeremiah's in my climber. You know you're a lineman and you switch to a saddle when you climb the tree and get set up and you hadn't even strapped your leg straps in yet. We got her taken care of though. We'll see what happens. I thought that bear was coming sneaking down the ridge. Turned out it was a whole flock of turkeys. I seen a big black blob coming and I got excited. I knew it was it. I mean, it was turkeys. Not even seen a deer. 2 squirrels. We got about 20 more minutes. Nothing happens, we'll try again tomorrow, I guess. Alright guys, this is day 3 and I've been after this bear. I'm going by myself this afternoon. Jeremiah, he's not able to go with me. He was going to be my cameraman there first couple of days, but we hunted, never did see him. Saw some turkeys. But today I've got a different wind. I think the wind has messed me up. I think the bear is hanging out on a different ridge than the deer. So typically when I deer hunt there, I've got a southwest wind, and that's perfect because the deer are on the opposite side, down in a holler is where they're staging up and feeding and bedding. But with this bear, I believe he's just hanging out and laying around on the side of this ridge. And when I've got a southwest wind, it's blowing right toward that bear, so I believe he's not coming in. Well, today we've got an east wind, which would be terrible if I was deer hunting, but I'm hoping that it works out perfect for this bear where I feel like he's hanging out. So I'm gonna hurry up and try to get over here. I'm running a little bit behind, but I'm gonna hurry up and get over here and get up a tree and see if we can see this bear. Okay, guys. I've been trying to go a little faster than I probably should have. But I'm on one ridge. The next ridge over is where my stand's at for this bear. I don't know if you can hear that or not. Squirrels are going crazy, which is typically what they sound like when they're looking at a bear. I'm afraid I may be too late and that bear's already out over there. My wind is actually good, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it on camera. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sneak up and over, and I'm going to get onto the same ridge, and I'm going to try to come down where I believe that bear's at. Stuff moving. I'm like 250 yards from where my stand's at, but there's a big deep holler over here. I'm gonna try to ease on over. I'm gonna try to video what I can. But my number one goal is to kill this bear. So we'll see. Really close to my stand. See how thick it is. That bear may be just right over this ridge. I don't know. The squirrels quit barking, so I don't know if they just calmed down or if he's moved on. If he's moved on, he's not moving very far away at all. So we'll see. My wind is perfect. Both hands free. Okay, so I made it to my stand. I never jumped this bear, but just like I thought, he was on this ridge. He was working his way down this ridge, and I was the next ridge over, coming up. The wind was blowing from him to me. I think he was just feeding his way down this ridge, and down behind me here, the way this bear was going is water. So I'm hoping he's just working his way down. I'm going to get him a drink of water, and then he's going to come up. It seems like these bears like to stay up high on the mountain as often as they can. So I've got a real good chance of catching him coming back up the mountain there just a little bit. I also got a good chance of seeing a deer too. It's hit or miss whether they're in here or not. They were in here earlier. It seemed like when the bear moved in, the deer activity really slowed down. So that tells me that this is a good sized boar bear. Usually a sow and cubs or a small bear, and it doesn't bother the deer activity. So hopefully it gets exciting here in a little bit. Alright guys, I just shot him. I just shot that bear about 20 yards. I'm listening for the death moan. He's a good sized bear. Lord, please let him be down. Good sized bear. Let's see what happens. Alright guys, it looked like a really good hit. Blood is kind of sparse. There's not a lot of blood on my arrow, but bears are totally different than deer. He was slightly quartering to me. Slightly. And I felt like I tucked it in behind the shoulder, so it should have exited perfect. That's what you want for a bear. He growled real loud. You could tell it hit him hard, and then he tore out of there. But I never did hear the death moan. And he went down in a deep holler in a laurel thicket. I'm going to give him just a little bit of time. And then I got Jeremiah coming over to help me. So hopefully we got us a bear down. We'll see here in a little bit. I don't want to let him lay overnight because it's only going to get down to 40, and that's kind of pushing it. So we'll see what happens. All right, guys, it turned out this bear crossed the trail that I use coming out, and when I come out, I didn't have my light on, and it was getting dark, so I just come on out. But on the way back in, I spotted a lot of blood, so the blood looked really good. The bad thing is, this bear has crossed a deep holler, and he is in the awfulest laurel thicket you have ever seen. Where he's
hands and knees tracking.
Yeah,
hands and knees, and one hand on the pistol.
And he's done went about 130 yards, which for a bear, that's just a matter of seconds. So
he's opened up really good.
It's been about an hour and a half since I shot him. We're contemplating on how to move forward here. I'll show you. This is the laurel thicket we're in. But there's I mean, the blood looks good and it's everywhere. I mean, so turn you back on in a minute. All right, guys, I'm back on the track. This morning, that bear was bleeding really good, but man, it went through the awfulest laurel thicket. For it to have went that far, and which, I mean, it wasn't terrible, probably 250 yards, and to have not bedded down, plus it was in the pitch dark, in the middle of a thicket, we decided to mark our last spot of blood and back out for the night. And Jeremiah, he had to go back to work this morning, so I'm back over here. I'm going to go ahead and pick back up on the trail. I want to show you what the thicket was that we tracked this thing through. I don't know if the camera picks up how thick all this mess actually is. I shot this bear way across this ridge over here. It crossed down and come up on this one. And then we tracked it right all the way through the middle of this stuff last night. And way down here, farther than you can actually see, it came up on this old red road bed. And that's where we marked it. And I'm gonna go ahead and pick it back up this morning. it was really good blood, so I'm excited about that. I felt like the hit was great, so I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But hopefully we can find it. I'm still on blood. This thing is right at a deep holler. And I mean, it's super steep on both sides. I'm still on blood. It was kind of spotty at first, but it's picked right back up, and even in the daytime, I'm able to follow it pretty good. So I'm just gonna stay right on him, but let me show you where we're going. That blood trail goes right up this holler, right up through the middle of all that thicket. It's nasty. I'm still on some bear tracks. The blood has kind of got spotty on me. It'll be really good for a little bit, and then I'll have to go by tracks. Looks like he's got a pretty good sized foot. I've taken this bear a long ways through some rough stuff. But as long as it's keeping bleeding, I'm gonna keep following it. So we'll see what happens. Well, guys, as bad as I hate to do it, this is gonna be the end of the trail. I lost blood some time back, and I just stayed on some tracks and leaves, and finally it got so much animal sign, deer and bear and everything else. I couldn't figure out which way it went. So I went probably between 700 and 800 yards, and this bear has went up and down ridges through the middle of thickets. So he's honestly not acting like he's hurt too bad. He bled a lot, but I hate it, but that's part of bow hunting, and I just hate to see an animal injured and wasted. But maybe we'll get one next time. It's part of it. Thanks for watching.